You know something needs to change, but you don't know what it is you want. The annoying thing is you've been asking yourself the same question for the last few months or maybe even years, and you're still no closer to knowing what you want. So how do you work out what it is you want? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through steps that will help you identify what it is that you want for your next phase of life. What keeps a lot of people stuck is that they want a full plan before they start to move. They also want to be really clear and certain about where it is they're going. So they want to know the destination before they start their journey. So firstly, let's get this out of the way. You don't need 100% clarity in order to start moving forward, and you most definitely do not need a full plan or a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan before you start taking action, because those are the things that are actually keeping you stuck. Now let's look at why it is that you want change. It's likely that you've outgrown a part of your life. So it might be your career, your lifestyle, your priorities, or you might be just not be spending enough time doing the things that you actually enjoy. When you start to understand what it is that is no longer working for you, this allows you then to identify what your next steps are. And this is exactly what I show you how to do in the next chapter roadmap. The big mistakes people make is that they think they need 100% certainty before they can start to move forward. They also think that if they continue to keep thinking about it, eventually an answer will pop up and they'll know what it is that they want to do. But as we know, that rarely happens. Another misconception is that they need one big, massive, life-changing decision in order to start moving forward. But that's not right. In fact, it's much easier than that. All you need to know is what's no longer working for you. It's so much easier to start with what you actually do know, and most of us know what's not working for us. We know the things that we're trying to escape from. We know what we don't want in our lives anymore. So let's start with what no longer works for you. What feels off? What is draining your energy? What do you not enjoy doing anymore? What are the things that you could live quite happily with not having to encounter on a daily basis anymore? When you are clear on what it is that is no longer working for you, this sets you up for the next step, which is, what do I actually want more of in my life? Not what do I want, but want more of. So you might already have things like spending time with your kids, but you might want to spend more time with your children. You might want to spend more time with your partner. You might want more time to go traveling and take holidays and take breaks for yourself. What are those things that you actually want more of in your life? Clarity actually starts by identifying what no longer works for you. So stop worrying about needing to have the complete plan or needing to be really clear on what the destination is. All you need are the next steps. Now, if you're thinking, well, knowing what I want more of is not really going to help me decide what I want for my next chapter or for my next career move, but I would say that actually you need to know what these next steps are, these small steps are, because only once you've taken them may you be able to see what those larger options and choices are. For example, think about it as a set of doors. If you don't go through the door that's in front of you, how will you know what's behind it? When you are unclear about what it is you want for the next phase of your life, it can be impossible to see what's behind the door because the door is not transparent. So you have to go through the first door, and that is your small step. Once you've taken that step, you might find that there's 3 more doors. Those are your opportunities where you can make choices about how you move forward next. So those 3 doors behind it are options that help lead you to your next chapter, to your next career move. So in reality, what you're doing is you are testing, doing small experiments. Maybe you're talking to different people. Maybe you are taking a course. By doing these small things, you're gathering information and evidence about what it is you enjoy and what it is you want to do so that you can decide the direction for the next phase of your life. And this is what I take you through in the next chapter roadmap. So we not only look at the small steps, but we also help you identify the things that are blocked. So you might have ideas about what it is that you actually want next, but you're blocked and you shut down your ideas before they're fully emerged or they're fully formed. So in the next chapter roadmap, we work through that. If you want access to this, either comment roadmap in the comments, or there should be a link in the bio and in the description. So I wanted to quickly take you through my story on how I was also stuck because I didn't know what I wanted. So I worked in the charity sector and I knew I needed a change for quite a long time before I actually made a move. The thing that kept me stuck was my all or nothing mindset. So I believed that once I dedicated myself to a career, that's where all my attention should go. I didn't give myself permission to explore any of my other interests. I also was quick to shut down ideas because they didn't really make sense, or because I didn't have a plan that supported them. What I wanted only emerged after I let go of the all or nothing mindset. I was then giving myself permission to explore and experiment in completely different fields to what I was already working in. It allowed me to look at things from a completely different point of view and basically allowed me to start from scratch. I'm not saying that anyone should just start from scratch. I'm saying you should be able to experiment and test those areas and gather the evidence to find out what it is that interests you or energizes you. So by doing that, I also at the time managed to engineer a role in my current workplace doing a completely different job, which I've actually found really interesting and inspiring and really energizing. And in fact, that was the job that allowed me to make the decision to move on, because that uncovered what it was like to feel really motivated and energized by work once again. So if you're feeling stuck and frustrated in a job because you don't know what it is you want, I really highly recommend you download the Next Chapter Roadmap, because it will give you the step-by-step guide as to how you can identify what your next steps are in order to get you to what it is you want to do for your next chapter, for your next career move, for what you want in life. So again, just comment roadmap in the comments or look for the link in the description.